A superstar never involved in any controversy? Is that even legal in Hollywood?
I remember when I was younger, I was really disappointed.
Why is it that this handsome man, though captivating to others, cannot look at himself? And how did the movie industry convert this once Irish Catholic into a full-on atheist?
He changed my life, professionally and creatively.
Childhood trauma, love, drama, and plastic surgery? What is Cillian Murphy trying to hide? Let's dive deeper into one of Ireland's most mysterious wonders. They call him one of the most underrated Hollywood stars, but he doesn't seem very eager in getting the ratings. This guy, who always dreamed of becoming a rock star, now suffers the consequences of the fame he once desired, in that he literally has to run away from it. Fame is like commuting. You have to commute to get to your destination. This is what Cillian once told a Rolling Stone UK journalist. In all fairness, a superstar who isn't really into the whole fame thing isn't really new. Yet Murphy is completely out of the Hollywood standard. He never hypes over personal drama, he has no social media presence, and he hates being photographed. I don't like being photographed by people. I find that offensive. If I was a woman and it was a man photographing me, his army of fans, as well as the general public, did not like hearing that. So Murphy later had to elaborate on his position in an interview with The Observer. I'm always happy to chat. What I don't like is people surreptitiously taking photographs. It's so weird. I've just been sat on the tube and people have started filming me. The actor avoids going out so much that you'd never find him at a party, caught drunk or causing a scene. Seriously, this guy's biography is spotless. No skeletons in his closet or marks on his permanent record. The only thing that can actually make him show up in the public arena usually are work obligations. A promotion tour prior to a new film's release, for instance. Well, in 2023, Cillian Murphy had to face the tabloids once again as the main character in Christopher Nolan's new film, Oppenheimer. I don't go out. I'm just at home mostly, or with my friends, unless I have a film to promote. Oddly enough, however, this never stopped Murphy from building up his acting career in any way. Regarding Nolan, they can even be called creative soulmates, having common views on basically everything. Together, they have created 6 films and can't seem to stop praising each other.
What can I say about Chris? He changed my life, professionally and creatively. I've known him for about 20 years now. I think you can use the word genius when it comes to Chris Nolan.
I've always known since I first met him, however many years ago it is now, almost 20 years, that he is one of the great actors, not just of his generation, but of all time. Although incredibly impressive, this kind of reference is quite rightly deserved. Cillian Murphy's grasp on his characters is like an intricate mosaic. The characters are all different and unique, yet all of them together create his own distinct acting portrait. It's almost like he keeps a piece of each and every one of his roles, preparing for future roles at all times.
No, I don't necessarily need, as Cillian, to agree with any character I play. That would limit the amount of characters I could play drastically.
Fair enough.
But I need to understand and comprehend.
So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter whether he plays one of the last 4 survivors in the post-apocalyptic 28 Days Later by Danny Boyle, an Irish transgender woman in a comedy drama Breakfast on Pluto, or the street gang family boss in a BBC crime drama Peaky Blinders. The more complex his characters are, the more interesting it gets.
I guess I'm interested in duality, I'm interested in contradiction, I'm interested in light and shade. I'm interested in the kind of in-between things of human behavior.
But as much as we love seeing Cillian Murphy on our screens, no matter the role, if he's offered that and theater, he's always gonna choose the latter. That's something that distinguishes him from the Hollywood mainstream.
I like people to go to the theater and come out feeling winded and emotionally shattered. That's my preference.
Even though the actor is poking fun at himself.
Because I am a failed musician, that I ended up in theater by accident.
His attitude towards acting is more than serious.
Yeah, well, it's all about the live performance thing. You sort of sign this contract with the audience. They're in this room with you.
Cillian Murphy is willing to go to great lengths to get into character. He would study physics and history, converse with scientists, even visit transgender bars dressed in drag.
How much is that dog in the window? The one with the waggly tail.
Cillian even abandoned his vegetarian diet of 15 years in order to gain weight and get rid of his Irish leanness to be able to play Tommy Shelby in Peaky Blinders. I would never voluntarily have that haircut. That and the hat, the voice, the walk, the cigarettes, it's all an effort to make me look tough, which I'm really not. I've never even been in a fight. In any case, this Irish guy simply can't stand looking at himself on the screen and never watches his own work.
I don't know any actor that likes watching his or herself. It's always quite a sort of distressing experience.
But really, how could that be? After all, he's a certified hottie on and off the screen. You almost get cut just from looking at his cold Irish features. His blue eyes as deep as an ocean, which will most certainly drown you. So what's the deal? Plastic surgery might be the answer. Yes, particularly attentive internet experts spotted various cosmetic procedures on the 47-year-old. A rhinoplasty, fat pad removal, lip fillers, Botox, and contour corrections. In no way are we beauty experts, so we'll let you decide what is and is not a cosmetic surgery. What would Cillian Murphy have done if he never got a chance to become an actor? Would the world find another way to discover this man's existence? Most likely, yeah.
I mean, that's what I wanted to do. I really wanted to be a musician for years and years and years.
Fulfilling his dream, together with his younger brother Paddy, they created a band called the Sons of Mr. Green Jean, in which Cillian was the leading vocalist and played the guitar. At first, they played just for the locals of their home city, Cork.
And we were down at the pub, but just not necessarily singing, just drinking.
Later, however, a record label called Acid Jazz Records became interested and offered them a 5-album deal, which the brothers never signed. Why? Their parents didn't let them. Paddy was only 16 at the time, and the contract terms were not favorable enough to the young talents. Regardless, the actor has no regrets regarding this. Even if I was good, the very notion of being an actor with a rock band on the side would mean I'd never be taken seriously. Meanwhile, Jared Leto, for example, managed to become both a successful actor and a rock star. To each their own, right? Generally, it's common to measure a celebrity's success based on how deep their childhood trauma is. Even here though, Cillian doesn't seem to fit in the cliche at all.
I remember when I was younger, I was really disappointed that I had such a normal upbringing, and I was like, oh, I wish I had a terrible youth or something that I could draw on.
He is the oldest of 4 kids in a family of educators, and he never caused any trouble to his parents. Another matter though were his teachers.
Did you have like a traditional, like Catholic school education as a boy?
Yep, no choice. Yep.
Yeah.
Private Catholic boys' schools considered it their mission to instill a sense of responsibility and social awareness in their students, which didn't really fit in with the whole rock star image Cillian had already settled on by that time. For his unruly behavior, he was suspended numerous times, and once even ended up on the brink of expulsion. Luckily though, over time Cillian came to terms with the authority and even graduated with decent grades. The religious component of this experience, however, played a great role in his future life. Cillian was raised Catholic, but he's admitted that deep inside he never really connected with the Christian doctrine. I was always an agnostic, which I think is a very safe place to be in terms of your faith or lack of. It's one foot in each camp, kind of. In 2007, while preparing for the role of an astrophysicist for Sunshine by Danny Boyle, Murphy changed his religious outlook. He uncovered questions about science against faith that he found very intriguing, and after doing some research on the topic, the actor came up with the decision of becoming an atheist. It just seems to me to be irrational that there is an omnipotent, omnipresent being who was there at the beginning and will be there forever. It's not logical. It doesn't help me as a person, and I can understand why faith can be very important for people, but for me, at this point in my life, it's not what I need. However, judging by his own actions and statements, one might conclude the Catholic belief system is still strong when it comes to the actor's sense of morality. After all, he makes great effort to avoid publicity, and the distress fame causes him might be the embodiment of the "you shall not make yourself an idol" commandment. There is also also a side of religious principles when it comes to the actor's attitude towards inequality. I mean, actors are overpaid, you know? It's nice when you get paid, when you're young and you've gone from having no money, but the Catholic guilt kicks in immediately and I'm like, it's all going to go wrong. You don't deserve this, and I don't. His attitude towards the practice of choosing best of the best is the same. Cillian openly detests the Film Academy awarding system. He believes that each and every member of the cast and crew is equally important. Naturally, he never takes pride in his own achievements. The fame thing was never a goal. I just want to improve. If I can leave one film behind that's something that affects somebody, that's absolutely fine. Sounds very modest, right? Also very Christian-like. Murphy's way of living in general seems to resemble the so-called righteous path of a genuine Catholic. I haven't created any controversy, I don't sleep around, I don't go and fall down drunk. Perhaps the only sinful intention one might discover in his biography is Murphy's confession that at first, his motivation for becoming an actor was easy access to the parties and opportunities to meet women. Though, his essential ideas easy to grasp. At just 20 years old, he hit the theater, brilliantly portraying a hot-tempered teenager in the play Disco Pigs. The play resulted in 2 years of successful theater touring, which in its own turn ended in a full-length feature film adaptation of the young rebel's story. However, Cillian himself cannot boast a long list of lovers. For almost 30 years now, he's been in a relationship with one and only woman, his wife, Yvonne McGuinness, who he says he owes everything he has to. I have an amazing wife, and I couldn't do this without her and her understanding. He was 18, she was 22. He imagined himself a rock star. She came to watch him perform. This was love at first sight. 10 years later, in 2004, the couple got married in Provence at Yvonne's father's vineyard. Together they raised 2 sons, Malachi and Aaron. Yvonne knows everything about her husband and even buys his clothes for him. It's pretty easy to keep Cillian content though. The stuff just has to be blue. They believe the secret to their happiness is to keep strangers outside of private family matters. However, this is what stirs up the female admirer's interest even more. I try to keep this stuff private. It's just for us. I want to do good work and do it well, but then be at home. I love hanging out with my children, seeing how they behave and stealing ideas from them. No matter what makes Cillian Murphy stand out so much in the movie industry, we love him just the way he is. With each new role, he takes on an exciting journey into a new story, which definitely leaves us new at the end. And isn't that the very essence of movie making? Share your thoughts in the comments down below.